devotees online and here in the temple. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thanks for joining the Japa Circle. It's not just a good idea, it's a great idea. There are many duties we have to do in life. The most important of them is chanting japa. And those who develop a taste for japa are most fortunate, because all progress comes in spiritual life by chanting. And one of the ways that Rupa Goswami describes the basis for devotional service and how one makes advancement, in fact, he says it's the key element, is that one should have a sense of pure desperation. Or he calls it laulyam. It means a very intense greed to advance in devotional service, and he says that's the only price you have to pay. And therefore, when we chant japa, since it's such an otherworldly activity anyway, we might as well add the element of greed or desperation. We can see the result of it from Advaita Ācārya, when he was so disturbed by what was going on in the world and how people were bereft of Krishna consciousness. He cried out, loud cries, to Lord Chaitanya to appear, and he appeared. And then he said it was the loud cries of Advaita Ācārya who caused me to appear. And we may be also circumspect about our own lives and the way they're going, our future in the material world, such that it is, and develop a similar sense of desperation and calling out for Krishna. And even if we add one molecule of this to the quality of our chanting, then it will be highly successful. What to speak if we can put our whole heart into it. So this is the secret to success according to Rupa Goswami. It's not far-fetched, it's actually reality. The sense of being in our comfort zone, or that I don't need anything spiritual, is the basis of the material world, which is complete illusion, because we're really being tossed in an ocean. So if we can ascertain what is our real position and the precariousness of it, then we can actually lean into that and chant with that mood. So calling it pure desperation. So that's the advice of Rupa Goswami, have greed for it. The example of Sri Advaita Ācārya is call out, like I really need help, and then Krishna will respond. Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Sorry to disturb your samadhi, but I just want to take a couple minutes to think about ways in which to improve japa. And I talked at the beginning of the class about desperation, and when we feel ourselves dependent on Krishna and helpless, there could be a feeling of desperation in which we call out. And we have the example of Advaita Ācārya. And then there's room in devotional service for ambition. So everyone, being a living entity and not a dead stone, has some aspiration. And in the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada mentions how when we have a specific ambition for serving Krishna, and we're praying hard for it, that I want to serve you in this way, and this is one of the perfections of devotional service. And so, can you think of ways in which you might pray with ambition? Could you look the word up, please? Can you think of an example of someone who prayed with ambition? And the Hare Krishna mantra is the ultimate prayer. So when we're chanting, we can also, with our heart, be asking Krishna, please empower me in this way or that. But what is an example you have? Oh,
Dhruva chanted.
Please, go ahead.
Dhruva chanted with ambition to have a kingdom greater than his father.
Dhruva. Yeah.
Yes.
And that comes under the category of akama savrakama va mokshakama udaradi tivrina bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Shukadeva Goswami certifies that, okay, so if you have even a material ambition, if you bring it to Krishna, then that's okay, because you'll purify it. It gives you that advantage of tivrena, very intense kind of chanting when you have that. What is the meaning of ambition?
Ambition is a noun, and it comes from the mid-14th century, which means eager or inordinate desire for honor or preferment. From Old French ambition, the 13th century, or directly from Latin ambitionem, a going around.
Ambi means what?
Ambi means around.
Around.
Yes. And it can also mean a striving for favor, courting flattery, a desire for honor, thirst for popularity.
Desire for favor? Yeah. Okay. Hoping Krishna will favor us in a certain way. Can anybody think of another example? Yes.
Prahlad Maharaj praying to Nrsimhadev that praying that he should never have a desire to, his desire was that Nrsimhadev would bless him, that he would never have any material desire.
And before that, he also asked to save his father.
Yeah.
And before that, he also prayed to save all the people in the world, especially the fools who were burdened with great, heavy ugra karma work. Malini?
Advaita Ācārya prayed with Tulsi and Ganga water for the descent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the other example I was thinking was Srila Prabhupāda on Jaladuta prayed that Krishna, please make me dance the way you want me to, and make my words that people will be able to understand in this Western world.
Yes, excellent examples. So we might see that living entities, being not dead stones, have ambition. However, most of it's misdirected. People, leaders who try to dominate the world, the resources and everything like that, they just cause havoc. But if we have the same ambition, we want to take over the world for Lord Chaitanya, and we pray for that, it's well aligned. It's a smart idea. Oh, good. Radha Kripa Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Maharaj. Maharaj, I noticed majority of the time when you pray, you always start with, if you so desire. I think that is always very touching to me, because it's a complete dependency on the Lord. But then I think more than 95% of your prayer is to spread the Sankirtan movement, to bless you, So all the time, whether you're in Vrindavan, Mayapur, or anywhere else, or any event, I think always in your heart is to spread the Sankirtan movement. So that's very, to me, is what is in our heart, what we want to do. And then first when you say that, if you so desire, please bless us, so that we can do that part. So that's very touching.
And so there's precedent for that. We see from Srila Prabhupada's mission that he wanted to spread Krishna consciousness all over the whole world, and that was Lord Chaitanya's mission statement, every town and village. So there's no lack of area for us to cover. And we can be as ambitious as we wish. No need to work for bad masters. We can work for Lord Chaitanya. He's the best. And we could even pray for that. Just let me work for you exclusively. I don't want to work for anybody else. And there's so much we can pray for and have ambition for. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta set the example. Whenever he said he was going anywhere, doing anything, he always said, Krishna willing. And if we get in the habit of praying to Krishna and our deities, that I'm going to move forward in this way. Could you please empower me? If it's your desire, please let me do it. And certainly we can pour that into our chanting. It makes it more intense. What do you all think? So we have desperation and we have ambition. And those things can put emotion into our chanting to make it more intense. So if you want to try that, think of ways in which you want to dominate the world, if you have such a propensity. And ask Krishna, please, let me have this. Try to have the same kind of feeling that Dhruva Maharaj had. I don't care about anything else. I'm going to God, and I want this one thing to dominate. But we can keep it focused on the ways that Prabhupada had prayed, on the Jaladuta, or Advaita Ācārya prayed, but we can have that ambition. Or we just might want to be an expert pujari, and we want to decorate the Lord, have the expertise to do it, or we may want to sing for the Lord, or something like that. We can lean into that and pray with ambition. Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Haribol. Let's just take a last couple minutes to see what reflections everybody has from chanting japa, reflecting on how it went.
Hi, Hare Kṛṣṇa. I just wanted to add 2 more people that were praying to Lord Krishna. First one was Draupadi in King Duryodhana's court. When she was being embarrassed, she prayed to Krishna, and he added more, he lengthened the silk robe. And then the second one, I think it was Queen Kunti, when the Brahmastra weapon was coming while Parikshit was in her womb, was to protect her, to protect him from the weapon. That was it.
You're paying attention, taking notes, reading all the books. Nicely done. Those are really good examples because, I mean, Draupadi's one of the famous examples because she was completely helpless and then put her arms in the air and called out for Krishna. And Queen Kunti's prayers are famous for that. In fact, she says in her prayers that if you want to be successful in calling out to Krishna, you have to be akinchana, which means I have no qualification. I'm bereft, and chant in that mood. Thank you. That was really helpful. Okay, let's see who else. Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the train of thought of desperation and aspiration leading to emotion. So I was trying to personalize that aspect, and I was thinking in my life when I was desperate and what aspiration came in, which will awaken some emotion in my heart. So on that train of thought, I was thinking like when I was young, I remember I was in a moral science class, and my teacher asked me to draw a symbol, which will represent your life. So I drew an arrow. And the reason and he asked me, why did you draw an arrow? I said, I want to be like an arrow directed towards a target in my life where I'm like going straight to that mark. But the target was not very clear to me. So I remember desperately praying several times for that target to reveal itself. But it so never happened. But until I came to the association of devotees, where I saw that they had something very tangible to move up to, and I felt my prayers were answered. So, but still the target was a big circle. I still did not have that one pointed, what is that aspiration? And then I remember one day reading the words of my spiritual master when somebody asked him, what is your ultimate aspiration in spiritual life? He said, chanting Shuddha Naam, just once. Just once.
Brilliant. I love the arrow. Shakadola, could you look that up, please? There's a verse that mentions how the devotee, it's like the arrow, shoots herself towards the target. Do you have it already? We can't hear you.
I have to look in it.
Look it up. Let's see. Who else? Yeah. Yes, please.
I think Prabhu said that Kunti was praying when Parikshit was in her womb, but it was Uttara. Uttara is Parikshit's mom.
Right. Thank you. And we have the verse. Kotukarnava has.
It's 7:15:42, Maharaj. So the 10 kinds of air acting within the body are compared to the spokes of the chariot's wheels, and the top and bottom of the wheel itself are called religion and irreligion. The living entity in the bodily concept of life is the owner of the chariot. The Vedic mantra Pranava is the bow. The pure living entity himself is the arrow, and the target is the Supreme Being.
Thank you. Did you note it, Chakadola? Just make a note.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you. A couple more? Oh, yes.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Yes, I realized that while chanting, I don't have to be like a dead stone, just like no emotions. Before I was thinking like a void mind, like that's my goal, just concentrate on the just on the sound, but it's allowed, so it's easier because like those ambitions and desperate, like it doesn't go away. And I was like, I was feeling that I was fighting with my mind, like just trying to pacify it. But now I feel that's big relief. That's it's okay. It's allowed.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really good. You can channel your emotion. Yeah. Gandharvika. And one other shan is contrition. We have desperation, ambition, and contrition.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
The one thing that I found very helpful was the ambition, because it gives the connection. You're not just sitting there and trying to come up with the sankalpa until fourth round, but having this ambition, it starts, helps us start with that connection that I want to do this. So I felt that that's a very powerful way to keep focused till then.
One thing came to my mind while we were traveling that I wrote down, which was go to bed hungry at the end of the day, wake up with a prayer and a plan. Or you could say it the other way, go to bed hungry, wake up with a plan and a prayer. And, if you have a prayer, you got something to pray for. Please let me get this today. It helps a lot to have it in place. Ambition's very powerful. Contrition means?
Contrition is a noun and the state of feeling remorseful and penitent.
Yeah, that's an extremely valuable and helpful mood to be in. It's one that Ajamil felt after he kind of blew it, like totally. And then he came to his senses, and in the last part of his practice, he was contrite. And he prayed with deep contrition. Thank you for joining the Japa Circle, everybody. We'll keep the transcendental vibration going. The strength of our community has to do with the individual strength of everyone's japa. So please lean into it, because we have a lot of ambitions for spreading Krishna consciousness all over Silicon Valley and the Bay Area. So I'd appreciate it if you lean in really hard. Hare Kṛṣṇa.